Well, I've got a lot of work to do today. Nothing really big, just a bunch of small little jobs, just kind of getting ready for winter. I meant to do this stuff a lot earlier this year, like early in the fall, but life's just been so busy that today is the day it's actually getting done. It's sunny out, it's pretty cold out here, but I'll take it for what it is, and I figure I'd take you along for all the stuff that I do, so let's get started. Job one really isn't a fall job, it's more like an every other week job, but I'm out here in the chicken coop. There's little chicks, not so little anymore. And neither is their poo. This is where they perch at night. They sit there, and then they crap into these totes that I have here. So I dump these out into the garden to kind of replenish the soil. Unfortunately, some of that kind of gets onto the straw around it. But I usually dump these out about every other week just to kind of clear it out, and it keeps it really clean in here. As you can see, other than that, there's really nothing on the ground. Food-wise, things looking good, and water looking good. What do you guys think? There they are. Yeah. And the other guys are out here. There's the sussies. There's the sussies, and there is the barred rock hen. Look out, chickies. Look out. I usually condense this into a high-powered fertilizer just by knocking it off in there. And then I do the same here. Unfortunately, because of the cold weather, these things sometimes crack. That one's probably about done for. I'll scoop that out a little more and we'll take this down to the garden. Then you turn the crap into fertilizer. I just sprinkle it out here in the garden. Just like that, and then I give it. And that's it. There you go, my crappiest job of the day is done. Now here's a job that I've really been wanting to get done. It's these leaves that came off this tree. I've had no time to rake them, and it's already snowed once out here, so I need to get these taken care of. But before I can do that, I've got another job waiting for me over here. You may recognize these pumpkins from the video Pumpkin Pickin'. They started rotting on the steps, so I put them in this roll barrel, which they've continued to rot in. What I want to do is take these down to the garden and just kind of smash them out there, and maybe grow some pumpkins next year from the seeds. So I'm going to have to do that. It's free up the wheelbarrow to get the leaves done. Jeez. I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but I'm getting rid of these pumpkins, so here we go. Oh, that's disgusting. Get away from that. That's sick. That's sick. Get. Oh, the seeds are coming out. Here, get back, get back, get back, get back. Oh. All the seeds are falling out in the ground. No, no, no. This is work. This is work. This is work, not play. That's disgusting. Ugh. Alright. Good enough for me. I'm going to throw the other one just out here randomly, but that sprinkled some seeds around. And it really doesn't stink too bad, so I'm kind of happy about that. I really went nuts sprinkling all these seeds around. I'll have to let you know next year if they grow into pumpkins. I'm hoping they do. Now that my wheelbarrow is free, I can get rid of all these leaves finally. Well, I'm getting there. I got these piles out here. I'm trying to find a balance between raking and ripping up the grass. As you can see, it's starting to kind of come up a little bit, and I don't want just a mud pit out here, so I'm going to get this the best that I can and kind of just take these down to the garden. Here's how it looks out here. Not perfect, but I didn't want to rip the ground up too much. Got rid of most of the leaves, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now on to the next job. Moving on to our next job, this fire pit. I need to take this and get it inside and out of the elements. It's covered right now. I do believe that there is probably ashes in here, which I'm probably going to have to dump before I put it away. And then we'll start again next year. Not too bad. Only used this a couple times this year, unfortunately. But this is a real nice fire pit. I don't know if you've seen this in my videos. That comes off. And we sit out here in the patio and have campfires. Real nice. I usually dump my ashes right over here. Kind of in there, beside the road. Alright, easy as that. Alright, fire pit is gone. It's under here. This is like a little storage area under our house. Happens to be a cat right there. If you want to know what this is, it's just insulation. It's under the floor that's kind of coming down. And I just put the fire pit right there to keep it safe. I do have to do some organizing under here. It's a bit of a hoarder's nest, but that's for another day. This furniture I have out here, like these chairs, and I'd like to take that swing down. They're going to have to go under there as well. We've got a follower out here everywhere I go. Mellow Cat seems to be there. And the swing is put away. That's where it's going to sit until spring. I kind of put it up a little bit so it isn't sitting on the ground, but it keeps it out of the weather, and that's what's important. Last thing I need to put away is this hose. This froze on me weeks ago. I unhooked it from the house, but I got to get this put in the shed, which is up there, so that's where it's going. Another thing that happened this fall was this tree actually came down. I cut some of the larger branches off just to get it out of the yard. I'm going to need a chainsaw to cut the rest of this up, and then I can use that for firewood. Done. My next job's not going to be a fun one. I'm going to get rid of all the tall weeds out of the side garden bed. So that's going to take me a while, I'm sure. I'm also thinking about getting rid of these hosta stems that are growing in here. I didn't have time this year to get rid of the leaves, so they just kind of rotted away in here, which I really don't like that to happen. But it did. The very least thing I can do is kind of rip these out, go the whole way around this, and get rid of those. So that's going to be my second part of this mission. I think this looks a little better out here. I got rid of all the tall weeds, put a nice defined edge on this side here, and if you can see on the side I put the weed whacker to this and exposed the bricks that run along the side, and I'm going to call this done. I got this little job done out here, taking care of all those, just hit them with the weed whacker. I think I'm going to come to really regret not getting to these in time because it's just rotting out down here and it's pretty disgusting. I'll have to see how that turns out in the spring, but I think it's probably not going to be very good for me. Next, I'm going to turn my attention to these flower beds. You remember those beautiful flowers I planted earlier this year? This is what they look like now. So I'm going to rip these out, kind of just till this over a little bit, and then I'm going to do the same for this side over here. This is just weeds and stuff mainly. Everything's done, so I'm just going to rip that all out. All done, and now we're ready for next year's plants. And the same thing over here. Got that all taken care of. My wheelbarrow is getting full of weeds, that's for sure. For my next job, I'm sorting out all these rose bushes. They all have weeds growing up around them, and I'm kind of getting them all taken care of. This right over here is probably the worst. It's just all tangled up, and there's other stuff growing in here. I don't know what these things are, but they're not roses, so I'm going to try to work this out and see if I can clear it up. There we go. I got the roses all done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I got rid of all the holly or whatever was growing over here, and I put a little bit of rope around this to secure this really thriving rose bush. It's really awesome. Well, that's it for my outside jobs. I think that was enough work for today, and I'm pretty happy with what I got done. I'm pretty much ready for winter now. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this stuff all done earlier, but all it takes is one good day, and you can really crank through stuff, and that's what I did today. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video because there were some sacrifices made. I hit my head like so hard under the porch, and then to top that off, I broke my really good tripod that I use for all my outdoor shots. So that's a real bummer, but it's the cost of making videos, I guess. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.